All right, so I just wanted to put this out there. If you've been watching this channel, it's probably been because of Malazan and my journey through that, and that's been so fun. So if you have been watching through that, keep watching. It's been super enjoyable to go through the series. If you've also been watching for some time, you've likely heard me say a few times that I've been developing my own thing on the side. I was really heavily working on it during the pandemic, and it was so much fun to put together, to just have ideas and put them on paper. And but it got like crazy where there was just so much, and I had to start chopping stuff away. And anyway, I enjoyed doing the world building part of it, the character part of it, all these little subplots, and really casting characters that I thought would be interesting, and kind of pushing them together in interesting ways. Some of them didn't keep, some other ones definitely did, or it just morphed into other things. I have these main characters that I have these significant events that I think would be very interesting. But as when I started Malazan, I kind of put it to the side for temporarily, knowing that as soon as Malazan was done, I was going to get back to it. And I'm still sticking to that because that's what this channel is supposed to be, just kind of a side thing. And I decided to pick up everything I was reading was to help me. It was stuff that I thought would be relevant to what I was already writing, and some of the stuff that I had heard with Malazan kind of drew me in. And it's been the case where it's just been such a great kind of medium, or something to read that gave me so many ideas. Not so much in the fact that taking ideas from Malazan, but it was interesting to see someone take, just go some interesting directions. And it just opened up the creative way of looking at things. And just, I have a kind of a funky way of looking at some things. And so it was kind of reassuring in that way, that you could really go in one of those kinds of oddball directions with some of this stuff. And I've also been encouraged and discouraged that there's been a few key things about Malazan that I was already kind of looking into and working on. One of them was this really long time period, and what happens when I'm obsessed with history, and I'm obsessed with dark ages. I'm obsessed with when things are forgotten. So that's also one of the things I've been working on. Anyway, when I am done through this series, I'm going to start going back and kind of revamping how I want to approach it, because I did have it a certain way, but it was it was a little simplistic overly, even though I had these big ideas and I had all this big cast of characters. I was so worried about how to put the narrative together. And I think I can do it a little bit more. It's just opened up my eyes of how I could do it. So, as an open invite, if you would like to be involved with this, I currently am on Matt's Fantasy Book Review Discord, and I'm considering letting a few people in, not very many, to maybe kind of express what I've been working on, and also to, not to get a bunch of yes men type of people, and not just to trash everything I've been thinking about that I think would be neat, but people who would like to maybe have some ideas or some input with the development. If you are also writing or would like to write, or you would like to kind of create a world like this, but maybe it just seems so daunting. Like I'm in that situation myself. It's hard to write something on your own, and sometimes it's just organizing everything, and it can be a little daunting, even though you have all these great ideas. Creatively, I can come up with ideas like crazy, but when it comes to kind of plotting things, plotting the way through, that's where it can get a little bit more tricky. And if you would like to get involved with that, maybe get a hold of me on either the email that I've left or message me on Discord. And I'm trying to figure out a way that this would maybe work. First, I'm going to be kind of reworking what I've already had to see what part of this larger world I like and what stuff I think I need to fix, because there's a couple main points. And then maybe doing some recasting of the characters, because I think there's some definite opportunity there. And then from there, creating some of these different subplots and maybe tweaking that main plot a little bit, because I think it can be more. But generally, what it is, I have these different characters. Wow, such a great description, and they are in different places. Wow, and doesn't it sound interesting? And they eventually meet each other. Wow. Just kidding. What I did have planned, though, is these different books that on their own, they would be smaller, that really focus on one character. And when you have the map, you usually have a big map. Within that map, it would basically have their little section, and then it would be fog everywhere else. And then for a different book, it would have their little section, fog. And anyway, I've been developing this thing where you can read them in whatever order, at least these first things, and you don't get the full picture until you've read all of them, of these first 5. So instead of, it would be like one novel, but split up into the different parts where you can kind of, do you know what I mean? And then that would be like the first part for everyone, but you could read them in whatever order. And then the next part. Anyway, now I'm just rambling. But if you would like to get involved with something like that, let me know. And I might set up some kind of extra, working place online. Right now, it just fits everywhere on my computer. I've been peeking into some different places, like Obsidian and stuff, for capturing notes and making connections and things. Maybe some kind of Google Drive or something where people can put in input, and then we can, as a group, kind of review things, what we like, what we maybe don't like, what we want to shelf. And then eventually it might grow into something, and it would be maybe kind of neat. I don't want too many cooks in the pot. That's not the saying. I don't want too many cooks in the pot. But it might be kind of interesting. And obviously, in the end, I'm going to do what I think is right. But it might be kind of fun to do that. And it could be this learning experience for us all. And then at the same time, if you feel like you have your own kind of projects, then it would be fun to turn and give input on your projects. And, that could be kind of fun. And even if you don't have a project and it seems like it would be interesting, yeah. So let me know. And I don't know if I would be doing this right away because I'm really in Malazan mode. I'm still writing notes, but I just don't really have time to kind of open up all that in a way that as soon as I get going on that, I'm going to not want to read Malazan because I'm going to be so all in on that. So I'm just considering that. Maybe consider it yourself, or if it's something like you would like to be involved in maybe some of the early kind of brainstorming stuff, but you don't want to have anything to do with any of the plotting. That's fine, or in outlining and stuff. Yeah, there'll be all these different kinds of steps and things, but I'm planning on having enough ready that when November comes and there's that novel month where you write a novel in a month, that I'm going to write at least one of these drafts, even if it's for just one of the characters. Really what I have planned is, since it's so intermixed, I want to write each of these characters individually, and then I can decide if I want to have the individual novels or mix them really nicely, which I probably will have to be that. But before I'm able to get to that, I have to revamp some of these connections and things. And I'm a type that I would want to know exactly where I'm going from the start with some wiggle room in between. But that's going to take a little bit of going back and revamping things, and honestly some extra eyes on it, because I've been looking at it so much. Sometimes I get a little fatigued. If you'd like to, let me know, and I'll talk to you on the next one, whenever that's going to be.